Alright, yeah, and welcome back on into some more Magic Arena. So this week we're going to be taking a look at a brand new deck, which is Mono White Monument. So if you haven't checked out the deck tech, then be sure to do so. There'll be a link to that at the end of the video and in the description as well. So we're going to be taking it through two competitive constructed leagues. I'm going to be giving you guys the highlights of those series as well as we go through it. So I learned a lot from last week's videos, and I quickly realised that if I went through one league, I wouldn't be able to give you guys a proper look at like the metagame and how well it actually faces against a lot of the decks in the format, because a lot of the games are blue-white control, so I'd rather not play that game 17 times in a row, and I know you guys probably don't want to see it. So if I go through two leagues, I basically get to show you a wider variety of games and maybe get to show you the highlights and the lowlights of the deck as we go through it, and then we get to see more likely matchups essentially. So we're going to be doing that today, so without further ado, let's get into one of the constructed leagues, and I'll see you all there. Okay, we're in, and this is an interesting hand. I think I'm going to keep it because it's very good against red. So, on that alone, let's go. This deck does have a good track record against red, believe it or not. In testing, I did it in quick constructed, which is best of one, but in best of one, I managed to go 7-0, and 4 of those games were against red deck wins, so fun meta and all. Okay. Well, the United Priest doesn't really do much for us here, so I'm going to go with the Knight of Grace post-combat. Fatal push, sure. It's going to be good against the black deck, is this Knight of Grace. This is probably blue-black control though, because nobody in this game is creative. What a surprise. Okay. Let's swing, maybe blink of an eye's our knight. He does not. So I was really hoping he would tap out there. I'm going to go with the Knight Priest because I'm not sure whatever we cast is going to resolve. Blue-black control likes to run main board negates. I'm just hoping he taps out, because if we manage to get a monument down, then we're in good standing. And there you go. It paid off. Surround's expertise is very nice, actually. Especially with double Anoint Priest. So a land would be nice. So we could cast that. He graveyards a Teferi, because this is Esper control. Fun. Cast out. Kinda need that, don't I? Alright, before Anointed Priest potentially dies, I'm going to pre-combat. Get a token. See if he wants to kill it now. Knight Priest is the only one he can actually interact with, so alright then. I don't know if I want to cycle this cast out yet for my 4th land. It would be nice to get it off with the Sram's expertise, but keeping it around for Teferi and other horrible, horrible cards might be just better in this matchup. Plus, we got the pressure on him anyway, so needs like a Yeheni's expertise to completely wipe the board here. Supreme Will. Okay. Starts digging. Can we just steal game 1 from him, though? Time will tell. It's like you can't really interact with Knight of Grace, so if he gets like a Scarab God or something like that down, the cast out to allow our Knight of Grace to punch back through would be a very nice land. Marshall. Well, might as well play it. Guess there's a token, which is 2 life, and it gives us a Lord effect if it resolves, which is very, very unlikely, I would say. So it's going to be a disallow or maybe even just a Vraska's contempt from our opponent here. If it doesn't, he's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, here we go. How unpredictable. Alright. We've still added to the board though. There's an extra power on board just for casting that creature. It didn't even matter that it didn't resolve. And that's where Monument just comes out on top against a few control decks here and there. As long as we hit our land here for the Scarab God, which we all know was coming this turn. Beautiful. Okay. Unblock the board to allow us to swing through. And swing. And now he needs a board wipe or bust at this point. Sweet. Alright. That went exactly to plan. Okay, so in this particular matchup, Silent Gravestone very good against Liliana and Scarab God, so we want to bring that in. Cast outs as well. Oops, don't want to bring in the Settler Wreckage. It's not, like, mind-blowingly good. Could invoke the Divine for Search for his counter, but I don't think it's worth it. To go down. Might not have time for the Anointed Procession, although it's not something that he'd care to counter, I don't think. Angel is a big ask to go down, so let's bring that one down a little bit. Maybe go 3 cast outs. Don't want to dilute the deck too much. And I'm struggling for sideboard in here. I like the early start with the creatures here. It goes right underneath his counters, which is very good for us. Anointed Priests don't seem like too powerful, so maybe trim one of those down. And what else? Sram's Expertise a big ask. Maybe the 3rd Anointed Procession. Yeah, we can go down that. Let's try it like this. Let's trim the fat a little bit. And add more answers. Okay, this hand is on a scale of 1 to 10 of hot garbage hands. It's about a 7. So I'm going to mulligan it. This hand is pretty much the same thing. Just no creature start though. I'm going to bottom that cast out. It's nice against his stuff, but we've got Silent Gravestone to answer his Liliana and his Scarab God, so I'd rather have creatures instead. And it looks like we're going to be able to priest into Marshall here, which would be nice. So Silent Gravestone stops cards in graveyards from being the target of spells or abilities, basically giving the graveyard hexproof. So Liliana's -3 doesn't work, and neither does the Scarab God's 4-mana ability. So I'm going to play the Anointed Priest just so we got some pressure on the board. Doesn't stop him Balm, so our Anointed Priests are going to work, but it does mean that his Champion of Wits can also be embalmed as well. We could, in response, though, use the 4 abilities, so it does have that kind of utility to it. Opponent thinking hard about what he wants to do with his 1 tapped mana there. Land and pass. Well, it's a shame we can't really sneak anything underneath here. Let's see if we can get in with the Anointed Priest. So he's probably brought in Essence Scatters for the Marshal, so we're not going to resolve that. The Monument's really what I want to hit though. Maybe if I wait next turn I could Silent Gravestone, see if he counters that, and then play the Monument. That might be worthwhile. I think this is just too clearly an Essence Scatter. It could also be a negate as well, is the thing. I'm going to try and get underneath him next turn. Double Gravestone's pretty good as well, because it does play around Commit to Memory. And waiting on the Benelish Marshal with the SRAM's expertise is also quite nice. So let's go Silent Gravestone. Oh, it resolves. Wow. Means this monument is also going to resolve. That's big news for us. If he's not resolving, not countering artifacts, then stands to reason other non-creatures should probably go through as well. That's big stuff. Naturally, Teferi comes down. Luckily for us, his ability to tuck creatures, not too relevant when I'm going as wide as I am. Okay, planes. So, SRAM's expertise resolves. We play the Marshal off of that. Getting loads of life, loads of tokens, and swing it to Teferi. Keep him down so he can't minus away our board state. I kind of like where we are. I'll wait until his turn ends because, you know, he's got 7 more cards than we do. Which is pretty interesting, we'll say. But we've also got a threatening board state and he doesn't have the double white for Fumigate or Settle the Wreckage at the moment. Wow. Okay, so he's going to be Glimmering, which means they'll be ticking up with Teferi to have 3 mana available. Has he made his land drop this turn? I don't think he has. Or maybe he has, actually, because he was on... Nope, never mind. He's going to have 4 mana open.
Let's skip to the good part.
But not the double white that he needs to Settle the Wreckage. Question becomes now, do we want to make sure... Ooh. Well, that's going to be really good to slap down. Do we want to make sure that Teferi dies because he'll have Vraska's Contempt for Benelish Marshal? I think we do. So I think we attack... Face, Teferi, Teferi, Teferi. Teferi, so that's 4 damage even when the Benelish Marshal dies. And then Marshal to face. So 5 to face, plenty to Teferi. What's the blowout potential here? There isn't one. Holy hell. Alright, a Night Procession. You want to counter that? If you don't counter that, every creature gives me 2 tokens. Syncopate. Cool. That'll do, pig. That'll do. 1 token's already enough for me, but 2. 2 will do it. There's no white mana for our opponent here. It's potential that that's where he's pinched. It's also maybe he's got another... We're going to see a Fumigate here. That would suck. It's probably Settle the Wreckage, honestly. Knight of Grace. Okay, so play around, Settle the Wreckage. Just swinging with the tokens. Thinning our deck, though, is going to mean that we hit a lot of creatures. He's got a Fatal Push. Has he seriously got nothing? Is he taking 6? Torrential Gearhulk. Okay, so I'm going to crack 1 Gravestone to deny him a little bit of value there. Or do I want to do Scavenger Grounds instead? Scavenger Grounds allows me to... Oh, no, I can actually... I can still Knight of Grace. I've got the Monument to do cost reduction. So we lose a token and he takes 4. We're gaining a token back with this Knight of Grace. And then we got the cast out for the Gearhulk. So we could threaten lethal next turn. Straight up passes. Okay, let's cast out then, I guess. Let's play the land just in case he's got syncopate. It makes him tap out a little further. Might be relevant. Cast out your Gear Hulk. Got another Gear Hulk or something like that, maybe? Or a Disallow, or... No, nothing. Okay, 2, 4, 6. I could go with the Knight for perfect lethal, but now he has Settle the Wreckage open. It's so risky. If he settles me, I've got 5 points left. Could just Gear Hulk as well to block. There's so much that doesn't let me win here. I'm just going to play it safe. I actually think he might have the Settle the Wreckage. It works really well with Torrential Gear Hulk, so there's no way he's not running it in his deck. So he's either considering using the Settle here, or he's got more Fatal Pushes. And more Gear Hulks. Naturally. No damage dealt. Oh yeah, you can't target with Gear Hulk. I guess he forgot that maybe as well. Scarab God. Can't target the graveyard. Sky Marcher to go over the top. It's not bad. So we do now have the Ascend. That's a 3-turn clock right now. We can chump with 1/1s all we want all day. In fact, we can chump with the Priest first and then just like embalm it out. Yep, let Scarab's non-existent ability go off. Lame draw. So if he has a Settle the Wreckage, at this point I'm going to make him use it on a single Aspirant. Goes to combat. And passes his turn. Marshall turns this into a 2-turn clock if it resolves. Worst case, we get a token and a life. Let's see go. He held on that like it was a counter spell. The thing is, if it was a counter spell and not a Settle the Wreckage, theoretically we can just win here, right? Blocks, blocks, yeah. It's a tough one. Alternatively, I can just potentially win next turn with my Aspirant. What's the blowout potential? I lose a lot of important creatures if I go for the... If I swung with you, you get blocked, you get blocked. That's 7 points, actually. I don't lose anything too important. Cracks his Memorial. Has Settle Mana open. Does he find it? Oh! Vraska's Contempt keeps him in the game. Blocks the tokens. Takes 5. Potentially dead next turn. Shepherd Dunes will do it. Another Lord effect will do it. Sky Marcher, not quite. No way I'm relinquishing the Silent Gravestone here, though, for an extra look, because it won't get me anywhere. Swing with the Aspirant to take him to 1. Play the other Sky Marcher and we've got lethal next turn. We could have had lethal there, but it's just too close to victory to just take crazy YOLO risks like that, I think. He's got the Syncopate. So he wants me to pay 5, which I can. I'm guessing this is to tap me out so that I can't Silent Gravestone, but I don't see that being relevant anyway. Yeah. Just wondering if I would go ahead with it, I guess. Whew. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for the first episode with Mono White Monument. As you can see, it does pretty reasonably well against control. It does fair a bit of the time as well, does well against red deck wins as well, because we have the Anointed Priest to gain loads of life, and the Sram's expertise into Benelish Marshal plays around the Chain Whirlers as well, so it's one of the few token decks I think that can actually play around in this meta. It's not like the best deck in the world, but you know, if you really want to play tokens but you're a little afraid to because of many different things, then Mono White Monument may be your jam. But anyway, like and subscribe, share the video around if you enjoyed the deck, and hit that little bell icon as well to get notifications when we continue the competitive constructed a little bit more. One more win, we get our gold back. See what we can do. Alright guys, see you next time.